So it's needed that I make a video about kind of what's going on. They're still beating me with these electronic devices, and now I usually listen to music all the time on my headphones, just about everywhere that I go. Listen to either interviews, podcasts, different tracks. I like really listen to a lot of piano. I've heard that it's supposed to, people that play the piano or keyboard, it's supposed to actually make you smarter. Um, and But I really enjoy doing listening to keyboard and piano, because eventually I'm hoping to be able to purchase a keyboard of some kind, the full 88 key that they have, and be able to learn how to play in the way that I can sort of be able to kind of learn gradually, even though I don't have a keyboard, is kind of get familiar with all the different types of tones and sort of melodies, because I'm not that musically inclined. Like I said, I've never played a musical instruments and turntables, but not like, other than a trumpet for, like a year, I think it was. But I think it's important for me to talk about, because when I watch YouTube videos, I usually have them on my headphones where I'm listening, and it sounds somewhat normal, like normalized. But now they done something to the soundboard where I can't turn it up all the way, and it sounds very screechy. Like, it always sounds screechy on phone calls when they decide to. They turn up their trebles really high, or on every phone call, just depending if they want to let me allow to have a comforting conversation with the individual that I'm calling, or their friend or family, or to sort of punish me. I'm not too sure exactly, or to distance me. I'm not sure what the psychology is to that, but that's just kind of what they're doing. And when I put the headphones on, for quite a while, they didn't really do that, so I could listen to like mixes and how they're mixing or whatever, different, top DJs or whatever. But I'm listening to tracks now, and last, I think, couple weeks now, and they turned up so that when I put the headphones on, it sounds screechy and I can't enjoy or pay attention to the song or melodies. It becomes very, very difficult to listen to any kind of music. So now they're preventing me from listening to music. But I have to turn it really down, and I can't really pay attention and being comforted in it as much. So I don't know who's responsible for doing this. It doesn't matter if I buy a brand new phone, they do it, they have control over everything. But I'm doing my best that I can, and it helps me kind of get through. Music does. Music helps me kind of get through the day, through a lot of situations, and I really like listening to music, because when I'm about walking or going to wherever I am, there's creativity all over the place. I'll think of maybe adding that music clip, a scenery that kind of makes me think, oh, this would be great for, this video scene with this music in the background, or just this section, I could probably mix it with this, and I come up with ideas, video ideas, and just, thinking of any creativity as I'm going about riding on the bus or whatever it may be, and to not pay attention to a lot of the negative things that are going around me. That's a big primary thing, because there's so much negativity and so much persecution against me. It becomes very, very difficult to enjoy the existence of life that's been given to me, and they make it as difficult as they can. And I don't want to get cooped up in somebody else's drama, but it becomes very difficult because they're beating me with electronic devices, and then I have to pay attention to this negative crap, and then I end up getting pissed off or angry, or I gotta do something to try to fix it, and they retaliate against me for it and think it's evil or whatever it may be. And it's very difficult, but I'm doing my best that I can. I don't know who's responsible for doing this, but it doesn't matter how many phones I buy, they have so much control over everything that I do. I'd like to be able to, at least listen to tracks, because I, think of video ideas, and it's in good company with how I'm forced to live. because there's an intensity of electronic devices like they're using on me right now, and a lot of things that are weighing down on me, and it's very, very discriminating. It's very, very it tends to get depressing. I don't get depressed like I did, but it gets depressing like, okay, they're not allowing me to try to better and think more positive, so they want me to think negative. And then I do something else, and then they'll shoot me with electronic devices, and I don't understand what these electronic devices entirely mean. But to me, it means something usually of control or be obedient to what something. Like, for an example, I was listening to music, a track, and if it has something to related that's close to my sister that passed away, and I thought, oh, this would be great. This sounds so beautiful. Like, I was listening to this one song, The Ocean. It was Always You, I think it was called. And it's kind of like a house track, but it has really no bass lines to it. And it sounds really great. And I thought, oh, this sounds really beautiful. And I think this, and I'm not really thinking so much of my sister, but there's glimpses of it. And I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe this creative idea. And all of a sudden, when I'm smoking my cigarette outside, just looking in the snow and kind of looking at the scenery, they shoot me in my side of my kneecap. So it's a symbolism of something that's lower to me, and I'm thinking like, okay, I'm not supposed to be thinking of my sister, or is this what they think I'm doing? And they're like, no, you don't do anything good for that. So this is why I get very frustrated, and it tends to get very uncomfortable. Who's responsible for doing this to me? I don't know. Like I said, I'm 41 years old, and this has been going on. The intensity of the electronic devices have only gotten worse over the last 5 years, and it was brutal torment in the last 10 years, if not more. And up until I found out that they were shooting me with these electronic devices. So I thought I'd make a video on this. It gets upsetting because it's really rare that I come across like these really hitting gems that are just really great tracks, really beautiful tracks, and they're not like jamming tracks you would play like a full track by itself or the whole length, like on a mix or something, but it sounds really good to like make a video on, or it like an intro, or sample it into a mix, and you could probably sample this section and throw it into this track. And it becomes very difficult for me to pay attention, to be analytical about what's going on. And it's one of the reasons I've had this Ableton software and I haven't touched any of the music. Trying to learn. I tried learning for like the first week or two, and I haven't made any progress on it. And I tried reading a book, and then they'll shoot me electronic devices, and I tried to read just one chapter, and it becomes very, very challenging, but I'm doing the best that I can. It is very difficult. More as the people all over Instagram, or especially all the interviews and all different kinds of celebrities, there are a lot of good people out there that I do come across and they're all women that really have a positive outlook and feel like they're trying to create a blessing or trying to relieve. But about 85%, 80%, I come across any anchors, interview hosts, a lot of celebrities, the biggest celebrities are bashing the hell out of me, very negatively, turning anything they can against me, and I just know that this is not a good thing. Having an entire entertainment business and then populates the rest of the population of the world on top of everyone that's already doing everything to me because they run their own shenanigans on me, becomes even more bogging down of hate crimes, because many of them don't care about my life. They just wait to hopefully that I die and suffer an agonizing death because they want to make their person a hero, and they want to glorify who gets worshipped among most of the majority of people and justify the horrors that they did, and it's not allowing me to defend my life, and when I do, they beat me. But I try to kind of deter away from that as much as I can by usually listening to tracks, and much of this is walking around, or I'll find a scenery and be like, oh, that's great, or I'll see maybe someone talking to a door host or whatever it may be. It can be anything that will be like, oh wow, that I can think of this movie scene that I saw so many years ago, and this will work great. Because there's so many people that want to get at me. It's hard to express the hatred, what their intentions and vendetta against me. It's very detailed. They want to get into my head as much as they can. They want to be able to play this sort of psychological train because they know I'm being beaten with these electronic devices, and now they want to play me as a puppet, to do as they say, believe as they say, do everything. It's very restraining of any freedom that I feel. I don't think any artist in this world can't, especially the best musicians in this world wouldn't have ever been able to make any incredible music if they weren't allowed to be a form of a high level of freedom or a privilege to be able to be themselves, and they're not allowing that. So I don't know who's responsible for this, but I guess that's just the way it goes, and I have to turn the music gradually down, but it's very difficult to me to tune in, and so they'll manipulate the emotion that it gives me to justify and greet whatever it is that they want, and it's nothing bad I'm doing. It's just a confinement of control, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything wrong, but I can't go to the police and all these other things that are going on. So like I said, I thought I'd make a video on this, and it's very bogging down. You come across so many people, and it's almost like they're very sick and mentally in this whole Hollywood entertainment business. It becomes more frightening because it becomes in ways of politics and moving across people, and it's very upsetting. If you look over the internet, how many YouTubers there are, how many things that are going on all around the U.S., there's a lot of bad, and they're choosing to bash me, and this is all because I've met Michael Jackson and the police department, and Ken and Sarah Cooper and Kenneth at the radio station broadcasting this shit, and for so many years, and I couldn't explain the pain that this brought me throughout so many years in my life that I didn't do anything. These people didn't care how innocent I was to what they thought I was trying to do in a vengeful way. And then as soon as I bring something, I called the library to do my taxes, and I heard this person say, "Gotcha!" He goes, "Yeah, now I gotcha!" And so, they say these things, and it's very correlated, and seems to be very correlated along with, because they watch everything I'm doing live on my phone. When I'm listening to a track, an interview, and they're listening, as soon as they feel they need to shoot me with an electronic device, on a certain body, then they'll shoot me, and then I have to turn the interview off because I'm like, well, I gotta go watch a different interview, or they don't want me to pay attention to this, and then I'm just paying attention to electronic devices. I'm not doing anything else, but it's so difficult because they don't care about the problems. They just want to continue their movement of popularity, and they want to care about how is it that they want to help their criminals and these vicious, very nasty people that have done very awful things, that have unfortunately did this to themselves, and they want me to pay for it, and they want me to make up lies, and I haven't been doing that. And they want me to just start changing the story, just like, oh, just have me pay for it the entire time. And this affects my mother, my immediate family, myself, the relationship I think of them, and what they think of me. But it is a correlation of a huge population that's doing this. And I know I'm a very loving person. I'm a very caring person. If there's most of the people that I've ever came across, they're not very caring and loving and show very much kindness at all to me at all. It's very disrespectful, harassing, agonizing, and it's very detailed in trying to just, in Spanish they call it engañarme, just to engañarme into a very nasty, trying to get into my core of I wasn't their quality human being, of how they want this guy to get away with this, and this hero becomes hero, and then cherish that person, and I have to do as they say. So I thought I'd make a video on it. I'm trying my best. I don't know who's responsible for this, and it doesn't matter how many different phones I buy. They do it to every phone and every electronic device I own.